Everyone has experienced a heartbreak once in their life. It is a wound that cuts deep into the fabric of your being. In those moments when the pain feels unbearable, when the memories of a lost love linger like ghosts in the corridors of your mind, you seek solace, strength, and a way forward. But where do you turn when the world feels like it's crumbling around you? This is not just a guide to getting over your ex. It's a guide to reclaiming your life, to mastering your emotions, and to becoming the person you were always meant to be. Please watch this whole video without skipping any of the lessons today, so sit back and enjoy, as in this video, we will explore the tenets of Stoicism through the lens of heartbreak. Lesson 1. Accept what you cannot change. To truly embrace amor fati, the love of fate, you must understand that acceptance is not resignation. It's an active choice to align yourselves with the reality of your circumstances. The Stoics believed that everything happens for a reason, and within that reason, there is an opportunity for growth. For example, you might feel overwhelming sadness when you see reminders of your past relationship, or anger when you think about how things ended. These emotions are natural and necessary for the healing process. Trying to resist or suppress them, like forcing yourself to stay busy all the time to avoid feeling the pain, only prolongs your suffering. When you accept the end of a relationship, you are not giving up. You're choosing to see this event as a stepping stone towards a greater understanding of yourselves and the world. This acceptance frees you from the chains of what-ifs and why-nots, allowing us to focus on what is within our power. Lesson 2. Focus on what you can control. Epictetus's wisdom is a beacon in times of emotional turmoil. It starts with shifting your attention away from the aspects of the situation that are out of your hands, such as your ex's thoughts, feelings, and actions, and instead zeroing in on what you can influence, your own responses, choices, and behaviors. When your mind is consumed by the actions of your ex, you are giving away your power. But when you redirect your focus to what you can influence, you take the first step in rebuilding your lives. It's about shifting your energy from external events to your internal world, where real change begins. This principle teaches you that your happiness and peace are not dependent on others, but are cultivated from within. Lesson 3. Embrace impermanence. One way to embrace impermanence is to reflect on the broader context of life. Just as seasons change and life continuously evolves, relationships also have their phases, beginnings, growth, and sometimes endings. By acknowledging that relationships are part of this natural cycle, you can begin to see the breakup not as a failure, but as part of the flow of life. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the transient nature of life, reminding himself that everything he cherished would one day be gone. This wasn't a cause for despair, but a call to appreciate the present and to prepare for the inevitable changes of life. When you embrace impermanence, you learn to let go gracefully, understanding that every ending is also a beginning, and every loss opens the door to new possibilities. Lesson 4. Practice negative visualization. Negative visualization is not about dwelling on worst-case scenarios, but about mentally preparing yourselves for life's inevitable hardships. Imagine someone who recently went through a painful breakup after a 2-year relationship. To practice negative visualization, they start by imagining how much worse the breakup could have been. For instance, they consider how devastating it would have been if the breakup occurred right before an important life event, like a major career milestone, or if it had involved betrayal. By thinking about these worst scenarios, they realize that while their situation is tough, it could have been more painful, and this perspective helps lessen their emotional burden. This practice doesn't make you pessimistic. Instead, it makes you resilient. Lesson 5. Cultivate inner fortitude. The Stoics believed that every challenge you face is an opportunity to develop your character. Marcus Aurelius faced many personal and political challenges during his reign, yet he saw each one as a test of his strength and virtue. It begins with self-compassion, recognizing that what you're going through is difficult and allowing yourself to feel the emotions without judgment. Instead of criticizing yourself for feeling vulnerable or weak, remind yourself that it's okay to hurt and that healing takes time. Your heartbreak, while painful, becomes the forge that tempers your spirit, making you stronger, more resilient, and more capable of facing future challenges. Lesson 6. Practice mindfulness and presence. Mindfulness in Stoicism is about focusing your attention on the present moment. One way to practice mindfulness is through meditation. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. As you breathe in and out, notice the sensations in your body, the rise and fall of your chest, the air entering and leaving your nostrils. When your mind inevitably drifts to thoughts about the breakup, gently bring your focus back to your breath. This practice teaches you to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them, helping you develop a more peaceful relationship with your emotions. Lesson 7. Reflect on the value of solitude. Solitude is often misunderstood as loneliness, but the Stoics saw it as a time for self-reflection and inner growth. Marcus Aurelius valued his time alone, using it to contemplate his thoughts, actions, and the nature of the world. After a breakup, you might fear being alone, but solitude is where you can reconnect with yourselves, rediscover your strengths, and clarify your values. It is in these quiet moments that we can hear the whispers of your true self, guiding us towards the life we are meant to live. Solitude is not something to fear, but to embrace as a sacred space for personal transformation. Lesson 8. Reframe your perspective. The ability to reframe your perspective is one of the most powerful tools in Stoic philosophy. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that things are neither good nor bad, but your perceptions make them so. In the aftermath of a breakup, you can choose to see the end of the relationship not as a failure, but as an opportunity for growth. This shift in perspective allows you to move from a place of victimhood to one of empowerment, where you are the author of your own story, not merely a character in someone else's. Lesson 9. Engage in the community of humanity. Stoicism teaches that you are part of a larger whole, a community of humanity. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on our interconnectedness, reminding himself that no man is an island. In times of personal pain, it's tempting to isolate ourselves, but true healing comes from engaging with others. By reaching out, helping those in need, and participating in the community, we find that our pain diminishes. You realize that you are not alone in your suffering, and that by contributing to the greater good, we find purpose and meaning beyond your personal struggles. Lesson 10. Live in accordance with nature. Living in accordance with nature is the ultimate goal of Stoicism. This principle teaches you to align your lives with the natural order of the world, accepting both joy and sorrow as necessary parts of life. Marcus Aurelius believed that everything in nature has its purpose, and that we too have our place within this order. When you live in harmony with nature, you find peace knowing that everything unfolds as it should. This acceptance allows you to move forward with grace, understanding that your pain is not a punishment, but a natural part of the human experience, one that will ultimately lead you to growth and wisdom. As we conclude this exploration of Stoic principles, remember that the end of a relationship, while painful, is not the end of our journey. It is a moment of transformation, where you have the opportunity to apply the timeless wisdom of the Stoics to overcome your pain and emerge stronger than before. Thank you for joining on this journey, and may the wisdom of the Stoics light your way. Good day.